And on the seventh day, Jake said, "Let there be light." I actually have no idea what day it was, and the microphone was in here. Alright, I don't like reviews, so let's go through this as fast as we can. I'm Jake, this is Good Night Streaming, let's talk about lights. So these lights you can buy on Amazon. The actual brand, quote-unquote brand, because it's all from China, is not available on Amazon from where I got it, but I found one that is exactly the same, just under a different brand name. So let's talk about it real quick. So if you make videos, you want to get into lighting. Lighting is very important. It can make a bad camera look great. So I wanted to find some lights to work with my streaming setup and to do videos here, which is why I can sit here and then just go dark. Neat! Let's talk about if these lights are any good. In short, yeah, they're pretty good. The Elgato key light is pretty good. They're a little expensive though, about 200 bucks a pop for each light, but you get to control it from your computer. That is the main difference between these lights outside of build quality. Obviously Elgato's build quality is a little bit better, but these lights are pretty good. These lights attach to your desk the same way these mic arms attach to your desk. They have the little screw in at the bottom, which is very useful. I have one positioned here and one positioned here. They're tiltable, and you can tilt them down and you can tilt them back and turn them side to side, so you can really adjust these to get exactly how you want them to. They also range between 8,000 Kelvin and 3,000 Kelvin. Kelvin is the color temperature. Light has different temperatures. The warmer the temperature, the lower the number. So 3,000 Kelvin looks hotter than 8,000 Kelvin. So for example, I already have one of these turned off, the other one's on. Also, they're very bright. This is just one light. This is stupid bright. You would never run this like this. It's ridiculous. My camera is set to the lowest ISO, which means it has the lowest sensitivity to light. So this is, if I set it up any higher, this would look ridiculous. So we're gonna set this back down so I can see. All right, so this is a good middle range here. It's a little harsh, but that's fine. So this color temperature is the one I like. We're gonna go pretty drastic. So this is 3,000 degrees Kelvin. This is very warm. It's quite ugly. It can be useful if you're doing some kind of contrasty things or you want to get a specific mood, but you would never want to go this low. Conversely, you can go up high. This is 8,000 Kelvin. This is like medical light looking thing. Not as opposed to 3,000 being sunlight. This is 8,000. This is meant to look like a dentist office for a fluorescent light, and it does pretty good. So again, that was a half. That was a 50%. This is 100. This is only one light. You get two in the pack. So I'm gonna set this back to what I like. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's talk about what else you get in the box. So you get the two lights, you get the stands, and you get the power adapters for both of them. Things you would expect to buy because they're the thing you buy. Screw into the desk, they plug into the wall. Perfect, you set them up, they're fine. But what else do you get? Well, Jake's here to tell you. You get this little dope remote, and you can buy a couple of these remotes online, which is pretty nice. This remote is actually pretty vital to operating these things because these operate on like a low radio frequency sort of thing, which is why I can control one of them at a time. So I can just turn off one, turn all the way up. What it does, you have this little remote. Each light is in a group. You have groups A through F, A, B, C, D, E, F. If you didn't know the alphabet, now you do. At least the first quarter. So each group is controlled with that. So I can set it to group A, and I can turn it all the way down. It'll turn off this light. Or I can set it to group B and turn off this light. So that's how you can control them independently. But you also have channels, and there are, I think, upwards of 40 channels available. So you set the grouping and the channel on the back of the lights. You have to set that up before you sit down and start adjusting with all this. But once you have it set up, like group A for the left, group B for the right, you put them both on channel 1, and then that lets the remote tell anything on channel 1 that we're dealing with the groups in that channel. So theoretically, you could run a lot of these lights. Like a massive amount of these lights, all from one remote. What else do you get in the box? Well, again, Jake's here to tell you. You actually get a really, really nice carrying bag. You know what? Hold up, I'll be right back. You get this bag. It's a big old bag. It's actually a very high quality bag. It's very durable. It's very tough feeling. We're converting it into a portable studio sort of bag, so we can. It's way too much space for these lights. You can really condense these light panels. So we're going to be able to condense the lights, stands, power supplies, along with a laptop and a cooling mat, a tripod and camera, everything in this one bag. So just from the bag, it's a pretty good buy. But you're probably comparing this set of $200 lights to other lighting systems. What's the point of this one? The reason I went with these set of lights instead of the Elgato key lights or cheaper photography sets, there's a couple reasons. The reason to get the Elgato is because I can't find it anywhere, and they're expensive as all get out. $200 for one light is really expensive, so I couldn't do that. But then in my room here, I don't have a whole lot of space, so I can't go crazy with cheaper photography sets. I don't have room for giant soft boxes to sit in here. I actually have very little space, so I had to have LED panels. And also, I don't like fluorescent lights. I've had one too many of these lights explode on me. Did I break them? Yes. Was I the reason they exploded? Yes. They're kind of dangerous. They get really hot. I've burned myself on them. They've broken and shattered on the floor. I just didn't want to deal with them. So $200 for 2 lights, 2 stands, 2 power supplies, and a nice carrying bag for it, and a remote that works. That's a pretty good deal. Now, I will tell you that there are a few things that I wish would be a bit different about this. The stands don't feel super durable, but I'm not one of those people that like complains about everything just because it costs money. Like they're fine. They stay in there. They're pretty sturdy, but they could be better. One thing I don't like is the remote is a bit weird. It takes a minute to get used to it and how it works, but once you do, it's fine. But what's weird though is that something in this house is turning on one light randomly. Because this is like radio frequency or something like that, I think there's a Roku remote in the house that when someone wants to watch like Disney Plus, the right light turns on randomly. Like we've woken up in the middle of the night and seen a light turned on, and either a ghost is trying to live stream or there's a second remote somewhere doing something. Anyway, there's a short video on these lighting panels. If you're looking for lighting for videos, I'll leave a link to the closest one I can find online in the description, but they kind of rotate because they're all Chinese stuff. If you have any questions about any of it, please just leave me a comment and I'll respond, I promise. Or if you want to know more, come by on Twitch. My name is Jay Goodnight on Twitch. It's a fun time every Monday, Wednesday, and it's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just come by, ask me a question. I'm much better at explaining it in person. And it'll be fun to watch the lights turn off in person. If you like this video, like it. If you want to say something, say it. If you want to see more, subscribe. And with that, I have been Jake, and I hope you have a good night.